If you want to make a nice little bird feeder for your birds to eat during our quarantine, you'll just need a few basic essentials from around your house. And we will show the full video in just a few minutes. But right here I have a 2-liter bottle. I also have a 1-liter bottle. You can use a 20-ounce bottle, whatever you have around. But I have a marker to mark my holes. I have objects to cut the holes. The best thing I found was a utility knife, or you can use a regular kitchen knife with some scissors or long nose pliers. And then for the perches, you can use dowel rods, or these are kebab sticks. Wooden spoons work great. Yarn, you'll need some yarn or some rope to tie at the top. And then some bird seed, and a funnel makes things a lot easier. I just cut the top off of a bottle I already had. So we'll see you in a bit to make a bird feeder. Homemade bird feeder. Our assistant today is Miss Annie Grace. She is also a 4-H'er. But we're going to get started today first by marking the bottle with where we want to mark the hole. We're sitting here marking the holes on her bottle. She is going to be marking them near the bottom of the bird feeder, and then 90 degrees she'll make 2 more. You'll want to make them so that way you can stick a dowel rod or your spoon handle straight through. You'll also want some holes on the bottom, very teeny tiny ones for drainage, and then holes to put your string or your yarn through. So that's what she's working on now, and I'll show you what they look like. Working on. We have a small hole, and you have holes that line up, but a small hole and a teardrop or circular hole, so that way the small one's where your dowel rod or your spoon will go through, and your larger one is where the bird will be able to access the seed. And then you have one at the bottom, same design, small hole with a bigger hole, and on the bottom we've got some small pinholes dotted out, so that way that's for drainage. And then at the top we have a hole on each side, just so that way we can use this to hang the bird feeder with the yarn or the string. The next step, you'll ask an adult to take some sort of cutting device and go ahead and cut those holes out. Okay, now that we have the holes cut out, no, they're not pretty, but the birds aren't going to care. The next step is we are going to go ahead and stick our dowel rods through. Annie Grace is going to go ahead and stick a dowel rod through the bottom holes, and she has to line them up. Just watch your fingers. There we go. And then we're going to use a spoon for the top one to make a bigger perch, and we're going to thread that one through. For your holes, they might need to be made a little bit larger depending on what kind of perch you're going to be using. And for the spoon, we like to slide it on in so that way the seed kind of spits out onto the spoon. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and fill our bottle full of bird seed. And I have just a mixture of plain bird seed that you can get from any type of store. And we're going to take this cap off right here, and I'm going to use the funnel that I created and fill it up. Now this can get messy, so you'll probably want a second person's help. Now Annie Grace, if you will hold that right there. Very good. And we're just going to pour this in a little bit at a time. And you can at least put enough in there to come to the second hole that you created for the birds to eat in. You can fill it up, whichever you may want. I'm just going to turn it like that a little bit. And if you use a funnel, a kitchen funnel, it would probably be a little bit easier. But again, this is all about making do with what you've already got at home. If it gets stopped up. There we go. We're getting there. And you just continue where we want it. You can already see some of the seeds are falling onto here, which is what we want. And say if we're a bird, we can eat out of that little hole right there. Next step is to put our string through there. I'm going to use string since I used yarn for our first one. But we are going to thread this through the 2 holes at the top. You may have to make your holes a little bit bigger depending on what type of thread or rope that you're using. And this is the challenging part. There we go. Good job, Annie Grace. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie a knot at the top. And the easiest way to do that is you can do one of these and pull it up to tighten it. And now we're just going to stick our cap back on. And this helps keep rainwater out or snakes from sliding in. All right, and Annie Grace, you want to pick that up and show everybody what you've made? Very good. And now we have a homemade bird feeder, so that way our birds can enjoy it. Another thing that your kids can do, or you can do, is you can actually paint this bottle. And this bottle you can put anything on. I thought about putting a 4-H clover on this one. Annie Grace could draw whatever she wanted to on this one. But hang it up in a place that you'll be able to enjoy and watch the birds while you're at home during quarantine. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us with Wilson County 4-H. You can check out our Facebook page, Wilson County 4-H. We also have a Wilson County 4-H Instagram page. Our website is wilson.ces.ncsu.edu, and you can click on the 4-H Youth Development tab.